My name is Algimantas. I train spiritual teachers for the whole of the planet. Started doing it in Lithuania, a small country at the Baltic Sea. Our country is under 3 million people. I have established a living temple of revelation named after Creator, the Paradise Trinity I Am, at the request of Creator. And I lead the worship service of Creator in this living temple when we open up our heart to Creator. On the way from the temple, I decided just to use this scenery and to present you my spiritual teaching in English. I want to show you the environment I'm in. This is the biggest river in Lithuania, the Nemunas River. It's truly a wonderful corner of nature in the city I reside in at the present time. Now I do desire to attract your attention. When I showed you the river, it's behind the camera. I'm just facing it. Water is everywhere in the universe, the same H2O, the same composition, 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. And even in the dwelling abode of Creator, which is called Paradise, and which is in the very center of creation, there will be, when we arrive in Paradise, this water, similar water. So, in a word, water is just creation of Creator's energy, similar through the whole of the universe, through the whole of creation. All planets, all worlds, we shall be, well, that shall be on our way to Paradise, material. All creation is material. Even the Paradise itself is material. But its matter is totally different, and it has no any copy in the whole of creation. It's like a one substance, plus it's neither live or non-live. And since there is no such matter anywhere in creation, it is impossible to compare it with anything in the whole of creation. Therefore, Paradise is unique, original, which is impossible to copy. But, there is but, it is possible to strive for a closer understanding of Creator and expressing Him in our own environment, in any part of creation, in any universe, and in any planet, on any world. So in this case, our striving for perfecting our personality identity is limitless and eternal. It has no end and shall never have one. Paradise is the dwelling abode of Creator and our destiny, because this destiny has been bestowed upon our planet for every human being to be perfect even as I am perfect. That is, to be perfect as Creator is perfect. And this is possible by submitting ourselves to Creator's leading from within. And this leading from within is possible because Creator has bestowed His own spirit, His own fragment, which is called a thought adjuster, and which is always teaching us, always presenting Creator's teachings as to how we should live on any planet, even though we have different teachers on the way to paradise. But Creator's fragment is presenting us Creator's teachings from within, while the teachers we shall have, they will be teachers from without. Plus, now, I am also training, like I mentioned before, spiritual teachers of the sort that has never existed on the planet before. I continue the mission of Jesus Christ, or His spiritual status, Creator's Son. Not Creator's Son, even though He is Creator's Son, but His spiritual status is Creator's Son. He is one of the two persons to have created their local universe. Local. When I say universe, I mean the whole of creation that consists of several 100,000, or exactly 700,000 local universes. Consequently, there are 700,000 similar sons like Jesus of Nazareth. And He has created His local universe together with His partner, who is Creator Daughter, and who has marked the whole site of the local universe in space by the circuit of the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit is the manifestation of Creator Daughter. like the Spirit of truth is the manifestation of Jesus Christ as Master, Creator, Son. After his final bestowal as Jesus Christ on our planet 2,000 years ago, he has earned the sovereign power for this universe, for this local universe. So his status now is Master, Creator, Son. Evolution has been disrupted 200,000 years ago by the revolt against Creator, against the Father, the Universal Father, by the leaders of the local system. Its name is Satania. And the Creator Son, well, it's easier for you to understand. Jesus created a local universe, different orders of spiritual personalities. So the leaders of the local system have been created by Jesus as Creator Son. And there are of different spiritual orders. So the order that the leaders of the local system belonged were, it's an absolutely new word for humanity, Lanonandic Spirit Personality Order, Lanonandic. And this is a low category spiritual personality. It has never experienced a single visit to paradise, to Creator's dwelling abode. So that's why they had to rely on their faith within to rely that there is Creator, there is a higher power in the status of a spiritual personality. And in that, say, case, the Father, the Universal Father. But the leaders of our local system, Satania, Lucifer, and his deputy, Satan, they doubted that there is such a Father in existence. And they started denying it, denying the Father's existence. So all this local system has been put on isolation, and in quarantine. No higher mind would arrive with spiritual teachings as enlightenment for those who inhabit local system. And local system is the furthest away from paradise, which I have mentioned before, in the very center of creation. So being far away from paradise, all spiritual personalities make bigger and more mistakes than those who operate in other universes, super universes, which are closer to paradise, because their mind is enlightened more, spiritualized by Creator himself more. So the consequences of the revolt against the Father are being bitterly felt today on all our planet. Even though Jesus Christ successfully completed his mission on our world and officially finished this revolt, but that is only a political, formal decision. People, mortals, and spiritual beings of a lower order, by the fact that our Creator Son completed successfully his mission and earned a higher spiritual status as Master Creator Son, does not change them from within, so that they would miraculously would have a deep faith in the Father, in Creator. They were of the same spiritual level. Therefore, if they were participating in the revolt against the Father, they have not become totally different. That they would all of a sudden begin to favor the Father and would become the champions of the Universal Father's principles to be adopted by them personally in their operation and spreading this light to others whom they might be operating with. So that's why the consequences are felt bitterly on our planet. In all the spheres, be it everyday life and our everyday relationships, or relationships within the family, or at work, all educational programs, all political programs, economic issues, medical issues, everything is, not only is, but has been for 200,000 years, since the beginning of this revolt, have been directed against any creation of a higher civilization on this planet. And, which is more important, against Creator, against the Universal Father himself. And the Universal Father, or now I teach those who want to be spiritual teachers, Creator's concept, which is comprising 4 personalities, 4 sources and centers, 3 sources and centers of the Paradise Trinity, and the Aggregate Deity I Am, written in all characters, capital. So, unfortunately, our spiritual leader, head, planetary prince, Caligastia, also joined Lucifer's rebellion. He was, well, in power for 200,000 years, and he was using this power to do everything in his hands against Creator as well, whose existence he was denying, denying by his actions. And this is the civilization in the 21st century after Christ. Just imagine all these material developments. They have been, well, almost in vain, because they were taking completely the opposite direction than the Creator is leading to. To change it, it is impossible. All civilization should be totally reconstructed with Creator and with His providence in operation for our assistance. While Creator's providence is a collective of spiritual personalities meant for our assistance, for the whole of our planet. And they are also made up of different spiritual personality orders, and even of those who have directly originated from Creator Himself. That is the highest spiritual personality orders. So imagine, I just started training spiritual teachers. There are a handful of those who desire to be spiritual teachers. But the environment is so aggressive. It does not want any change for the light of Creator. They want to serve different dogmas in each sect, be it, say, Christian sect like Catholics, like Russian Orthodox, or rather Slavic Orthodox, or Buddhists, also different sects, Krishna worshippers, just even Jews also divided among themselves. They base their spiritual living, I say spiritual, but it's far from being spiritual, intellectual level, when they pronounce some spiritual words, but their heart is like a hard stone. It's not warmed up with Creator's living high frequency vibrations. And even the prayers at the Weeping Hall in Jerusalem, they are in vain, because they are uttering sounds, words, but they do not correspond to their inner state of spiritual personality. That's why Jews, they consider themselves to be the chosen people by Creator, but it is the farthest away nation from Creator. Even the pagans are much closer to Creator than Jews. So that's why Creator has chosen the Lithuanian nation as the chosen nation currently on the planet. And I am appointed by Creator as His ambassador. I took oath of loyalty to Creator, the Paradise Trinity I am. I have been trained by Creator since my, well, infancy. So that's why I started training spiritual teachers, realizing that without the spiritual teachers and in cooperation with Creator Himself, as co-creators and cooperating with Creator's providence, we can build up a new civilization on this planet. A new, not corrected this one, which is impossible to correct, but totally new, according to Creator's evolutionary plan and according to Creator's will. And my will is fused with Creator's, like Jesus's will has been fused with Creator's. That's why he was constantly saying, "The Father and I are one in spirit." And I also say, Creator and I and Jesus are one in spirit. My Creator is that very same Jesus' Father. And like I have just mentioned before, and other personalities, the second source and center, third and fourth centers and sources, which, for you to understand better, I also call the Father, the first source and center, then Eternal Mother as the second source and center, and which has been confused with Jesus as the second member of the Paradise Trinity, but Jesus has never been and shall never be the member of the Paradise Trinity. Like I have also mentioned before, there are at least 700,000 like Jesus, Creator sons. And the third source and center of the Paradise Trinity is the Infinite Mother, which has also been confused with the Holy Spirit. And I told you before, the Holy Spirit is just the circuit and manifestation of the Creator Daughter of the local universe. And the Holy Spirit cannot be even a person. It's just the manifestation of that person. Like Jesus, the Spirit of Truth is the manifestation of the Master Creator Son, who has bestowed himself on our planet as Jesus of Nazareth. But the Spirit of Truth is not Creator Son. No, it's not a person. It's the manifestation. But it has its mind, the quality of which is the mind of our Master Creator Son. Like the mind of the Holy Spirit is the mind of the quality of the Creator Daughter of our local universe. So I'm the apostle of the latter two as well. And I know how to lead this civilization out of a critical condition. No other on the planet knows it, because I know it from the Father, from Creator, from Jesus as Master Creator Son. I receive teachings from them, and I publish books of their teachings, of their revelations. That's why I know what I speak of. Just mark my words. They are the words of Creator, because otherwise you do not hear Him, even though He is speaking to you all the time, ceaselessly. But you have your material ego, which is egocentric, rather than the divine ego, which is dividing oneself to the environment, So mark my words. Without my teachings, you shall never get either to Jesus or to the Father, to Creator. It is impossible. And you cannot change the situation for the better, anywhere, in America, in Europe, in Asia, in Australia. No chance. You have to listen to my teachings. And it is possible if you visit my site urantia.lt. The site has two variants. One is the original Lithuanian, my native language, my native tongue, and the other variant is in English. So a small part of my teachings I posted in English, but it's only a minor part that I usually post in Lithuanian on my website. Plus, my teachings are on YouTube, like you are now watching it. So that's why I try to knock at the door of your heart together with the Spirit of truth that I stressed is the manifestation of Jesus. So we knock at the door of your heart. Change your life into Creator's direction rather into your own selfish interests direction. Abandon this direction. Otherwise, you will lose. You will lose, absolutely. Your health, your peace in your mind, your future. And it is highly possible that you might be losing your personality identity. That's a risky way. It's not the game that Creator is offering you to play. His game is called evolution. And you know what is evolution without doubt. This is development to grow for the better. But you have to think and start growing first as a person. Grow within this person so that you would begin to perform deeds of goodness to others. Otherwise, all your living on this planet shall be in vain, but you might have millions of dollars or yens or yuans or whatever currency, even billions, but your life is meaningless and in vain. Just if you go back several months when there was a pompous funeral of the so-called Queen of the United Kingdom. She is not yet resurrected because she didn't have faith in Creator. She was performing only rituals. Resurrection is granted on the third day only for those who have faith. So if you believe my words, this is the faith that is sprouting within your spiritual personality. The Queen did not pay any attention to my words because she was, well, Her Majesty. What majesty? Ridiculous. A clown, and that's it. A clown. How can be kings, queens? This is a game against Creator's will. Against. Just look around. It's the 21st century after Christ. If you are a businessman, though hardly it is possible for a businessman to open my channel and listen to what I'm telling. So if you are a businessman, just by chance, stop exploiting people. Stop stealing money from ordinary workers. Because your material wealth is dishonest. You have to purify this wealth you have accumulated and give it back already from the accumulated wealth to all those or their relatives or those who might have legal rights to inherit their material wealth. So you have to give that amount you have stolen from them by underpaying them, while taking that money into your bank account. So I'm giving you just the direction, which way you have to remedy yourself with light. My light is meant by Creator. Be heard by your, not material, but spiritual hearing. That is through your opened heart, not through your intellect. Intellect is deceiving you. You should turn your animal origin mind into the divine and eternal personality mind, which is bestowed by Creator. So that's why this mind is just the true mind of every spiritual personality. And the evolution is meant to create ever better environment for the next generation. That the next generation would also create a better environment for the still next generation, as against the environment they have inherited from the former generation. This is the evolution. That's why every deed should be measured by Creator's values for the well-being of all, not for your family, not for you personally, for all. But you, of course, may earn a lot of material money. Why not? If this is decently earned, honestly, that's yours. You might have a talent, might be the case. Nothing has against your property. But the problem is your motives that dictating you decisions to accumulate as much wealth as possible at the cost of stealing money from your subordinates or workers. So this sort of money is stolen and does not belong to you. And Creator is registering all your deeds, all your intentions, all your motives. You cannot hide from Creator. Even you might try to hide from yourself. But this is only the animal origin mind that is making such a futile attempt. Wherever you go, you carry tension within. You cannot run away from tension which is within you. And that is the symptom of fear in operation. And you have a lot of fear. All those billionaires are filled up with fear because they have no creator as the basis for their personality to lean upon, as the personality is spiritual and it has not been waked up yet. Because the waking up of the spiritual personality has been blocked by their animal origin mind decisions to enrich yourself even more and even more and even more at any cost. This way is against Creator's evolutionary plan and against Creator's will. And then you will not be resurrected on the third day after your body runs out of the Creator's living energy, which is meant to keep your body safe and sound for all your life. That would continue for several hundred years, but not in a futile living, but spreading light and doing deeds of goodness to others and doing it out of your heart and the way Creator is leading you to doing them. Well, just think, ponder my words.